Hello friends, Assalamu alaikum. An article on interest-free banking written some 40 years ago, which appeared in Financial Express, is being read to you for your kind information. This topic is still relevant. You are aware that our good friend H. Abdul Raqib Sahib has been trying his best to introduce interest-free banking system in India. He approached the court, he approached the government, different state governments, and placed before them why interest-free banking system should be in existence in our country. But we are still to see it. If it comes out, if it is established in India, it will benefit industrial units. There is no doubt about it. But will it be possible in our country? Is a big question. Let us see what happens. Anyhow, attempts are being made, and a day will come when interest-free banking system, at least in some form, will be available in our country. We are also aware that a counter was to be opened at State Bank of India. Even there was hurdle for that, and it could not come, despite its announcement had been made. Let us see what happens. Anyhow, if a system is benefiting the people, it should be welcomed, or at least the government should come forward to experience it for some time, so that everything is clear to the government as well as to the people. One strong view is that interest-free banking system is definitely beneficial to the people. In many countries, it is in operation. Why not in our beloved country, India, is the big question. Let us ponder over it. Let us send this message to as many people as possible and get information from them. It is also necessary for us to get opinion from experienced people, industrial people, industrialists, and also common people. Let us do all these things. Thank you for your listening. Interest-free banking by V.M. Khalilur Rahman in Financial Express dated 21st November 1981. Although Muslims throughout the world have been adopting the traditional system of interest-free loans in small measures, the interest-free banking introduced by President Ziaul Haq in Pakistan last year as part of the process of Islamization of the economy is a new experiment. According to reports, an overwhelming majority of Pakistanis have welcomed the system. While Islamic fundamentalists support it because interest taking or giving is regarded as a sin in Islam, the mercantile community has commended it in the expectation of getting interest-free loans for the development of business and industry. The pro-Bhutto extremists on the other hand, consider the present regime's policy of Islamization a ruse to hoodwink the people and divert attention from basic and burning issues like electing a democratic government. Though none in any Islamic country can be at the helm of affairs without depending on religion, the Zia government's over-enthusiasm for overnight Islamic changes in Pakistan has created doubts as to whether it is all only to remain in power or divinely inspired. Some Islamists prefer Islamic rule there through a democratically elected government. Some others, particularly and leaders of the Jamaat-e-Islami, argue that when Pakistan was founded in the name of Islam, there should be only an Islamic government there. To them, it need not necessarily be a democratically elected government, but any government which follows Islamic codes and works for Hukumat-e-Ilahi, Kingdom of God, should be accepted. It is a fact that despite the hanging of popular leader like Mr. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto by President Zia, the latter is able to remain in power just because he utters the name of Islam and assures the people that he will try to bring back lost glories. He also introduced penal punishments like cutting off hand for theft and death for adultery. Some Orthodox ulama prefer the reformation of the society through tabligh, that is preaching, away from the cobweb of political activity. The late Maulana Ehtishamul Haq, a well-known and reputed religious leader who was close to the Bhutto family, did not see eye to eye with General Zia. He and people of his ilk believe that people should first become pious and strong adherents of Islam before thinking of establishing an Islamic government. Thus, General Zia faces a strong opposition from the people on various political and religious issues. Yet, interest-free banking is one of the reforms whose wholeheartedly welcomed by most of the people except those who have huge deposits in banks and no religious attachments. Some economists who have hitherto followed the British system of banking consider interest-free banking as impracticable in the long run. Some other experts with an Islamic bent of mind stress the necessity of this system in the present industrial world where high rates of interest are common. It is a fact that in almost every industrial unit, the bank is a major partner entitled to an income, that is interest, of up to 18% or more, no matter whether the unit makes a profit or incurs a loss. Many industrial units have collapsed because of the burden of the prevailing interest system. At the same time, the tremendous industrial progress seen today is due to the finance provided by banks and other corporations like Sipcot in Tamil Nadu. The worst disadvantage to industries financed by banks is that business becomes compulsory for them even at unworkable levels of prices at both buying and selling points, as they require goods as well as forward contracts of sales for submission to their banks against different varieties of facilities secured by them. In spite of this, whether industrial development will be possible, particularly in the present world, without involving interest is a moot point. Pakistan claims that interest-free banking was successful last year in all the 5 nationalized banks where it was introduced. The annual reports of these banks have shown that the income of depositors in interest-free accounts has been 8.5 to 15%, whereas depositors for interest have gained only 7.5 to 12%. In Pakistan, the deposits in interest-free accounts are given to different industrial units and profit or loss is shared among the depositors according to their ratio of investment. According to reports, about rupees 300 crore were deposited in interest-free accounts there. However, it remains to be seen if the trend is here to stay. In India, though an interest-free system seems unthinkable, the best thing the government could do will be to provide facilities for secret deposit accounts without involving any interest, in the same way as the banks in Switzerland have provided. This will help in acquiring black money from both home and abroad for various national projects. This article was written, as said already, by V.M. Khalilur Rahman, and it appeared in Financial Express of Chennai on 21st November 1981. That is about 40 years ago. Thank you for your listening.